Well, I don't know about your 2021 so far, but let me tell you, mine has been a shit show. Greetings gamers, my name is Johnny Retro and welcome back to another episode of Retro Raider. And I'm going to give you guys an update, not only a channel update, but an update of everything that has been happening to me so far during this year. And yeah, things have been a little bit chaotic. First things first, yeah, I've been away from YouTube for a while, almost 2 weeks now. And the reason for that is, if you guys follow me on my social media, you know what's been going on. I got COVID. Yeah, Johnny was caught in the claws of the pandemic. Now, usually I don't get that personal here on the channel, but I felt the need to share this with you guys. First of all, because this is a worldwide problem, and then because, there's a lot going on, this really affect me. Not just in terms of health, but, in terms of my personal and professional life, and of course the channel. So I think that I own that to you guys. So let me start from the beginning. Me and my girlfriend Maria, we take every precaution, but sometimes all the efforts are not enough, and she was the first one to notice the symptoms. I believe this was around January 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. She started to feel, a little bit of a sore throat. The day after that, January 4th, I think this was a Monday, she came home and she said that, well, I'm going to be isolated because I'm starting to get a little bit of fever, I'm starting to get a little bit of cough. She called immediately to our national healthcare system, and yeah, they told her to make a test, a COVID test, the day after that, and it tested positive. She was immediately in quarantine mode, and so was I. I did my test the day after that, and I tested negative, and so far I wasn't getting any of the symptoms yet. Day after that, probably around January 6th, more or less, I started to get the symptoms, even with a negative test. So I went to make another test, and this time I tested positive. So what happened before was that I was a false negative. So COVID for Johnny, quarantine mode around the house, and yeah, the stronger symptoms started to kick in. And we stayed home for more than 2 weeks. It was around 16 days, I believe. After 3 or 4 days, Maria was pretty much okay when it comes to the symptoms. Me, however, the fever started to kick in, and I had fever for 2 days, more or less. And we didn't got, any of the respiratory symptoms, fortunately, but it was just a pain. My sense of smell and my taste palates, you can still notice in my voice. It's not 100% back yet, but I just couldn't smell or taste anything. My body, my articulation was just, messed up. Everything hurt. My head, even without the fever, my head was killing me, so I just couldn't do anything. Of course that I couldn't make YouTube videos. It was physically impossible for me. So just for comparison, and of course just take this with a grain of salt, because the symptoms and this disease manifest in so many different ways. You could be living with the person, again for me and Maria, her symptoms were different than mine, so it can be different for you. So it can be easier, but it can also be much more serious health-wise. So no matter how careful you are, it can happen to you. And it's a very scary situation. I was very worried for my family, because the day before Maria got tested, I've been with my parents. I was very worried about my parents. When we tested positive, they also went into quarantine. But the situation here, and I'm not going to get much personal here. My father has a serious health issue, a chronic health issue. So if he gets it, if he gets COVID, he might die. So I was angry, I felt guilt, even though I had no way to control this. I cried, I screamed, and I was very worried about my parents. Fortunately, they never felt any of the symptoms. They got tested twice, and they got negative twice. And it has been more than 2 weeks now, so they're home free. Me and my girlfriend, we already got dispatch from our doctor, so we're back pretty much to normal now. The only thing that I still have is a little bit, it's not a runny nose, but I'm still a little bit affected on this area right here, so to speak. But so far so good. It's all clear now. So of course that, being in my early 30s, and I'm a healthy person, this was not that bad for me in terms of health. It was not dangerous. It was like, a really strong cold, if you will. But the whole experience, the whole situation, it was it was scary. It was really, really scary. You guys know this. I suffer from anxiety. My anxiety levels were all over the place. I was, uncontrollable. It was, again, it was really, really scary. And things in Portugal are bad, are really bad here now. We're on a second, general isolation here, like quarantine mode in the whole country. The cases, from what I've seen, last day was around 14,000 new cases and more than 200 deaths here in Portugal. We're talking about a small country here, 10 million, and we're in the middle of the pandemic where numbers are starting to be just that, numbers. It's just statistics. But the true thing is that a lot of people are dying. These are each of these numbers. Each number is a person. It's a life. And aside from the economical crisis, aside from the political crisis that we are living now here in Portugal, again, it's a worldwide phenomenon. Really, it's a worldwide crisis. But I'm talking about here in Portugal specifically. Aside from that, it's these are crazy times that we are living, and we really need to put ourselves in the position and the situation of others. And by any means, I'm not getting into the politics here. This is not that type of channel. When I see people denying this, like conspiracy theories, etc., it just really, really scares me and pisses me off at the same time. You can 100% believe that this is true, this is real, this is scary, and nobody is safe from it. It could happen to you, it could happen to one of your loved ones. This is really not the time to be stupid, it's not the time to be selfish, it's a time where we all need to work to the same objective, right? To the same goal, because by taking care of ourselves, we are taking care of others. And by taking care of others, we are taking care of our loved ones. So even if you're young, even if you're healthy, even if this for you is just going to be, a mild cold, think about your parents. Think about your grandparents. Maybe you have someone close to you that has a serious disease or is older or has, respiratory problems. Think about them. And always keep this in mind. Without knowing, you could be hurting someone else, someone else's parents, someone else's brother, girlfriend, husband. Even without intent, you could be killing one of your family members. That's how serious and how aggressive this whole situation, this crazy disease is. Now, COVID aside, last weekend, what did I found in my game room? Well, I found bugs. Mites. I started to notice that, a little bit of dust particles were moving. And they were not dust particles. They were, I believe they're called mold mites or something like that. Now, I don't have mold in my gaming room or my apartment. I take really, really good care of my environment. I keep everything clean all the time. But what happened was that this winter was very unusual here in Lisbon. Very cold, lots and lots of rain, more than normal, and a lot of humidity. And we called 2 extermination companies. One of them is actually the company that deals, with bugs and infestations on my girlfriend's job, workplace. And both told us that, this is kind of normal, taking care of this current situation with the weather. Fortunately, they're not harmful for our health, and also they're not harmful for the equipment. As a matter of fact, they told us that they're kind of good for it because they eat, other microorganisms and also, dead skin cells. But it's scary. It's freaking scary because when you start to look closer, you start to see 2 or 3 dots around, your games and consoles and televisions and, computer, and those dots are moving bugs. It's very unsettling. Last weekend, me and my girlfriend, we cleaned and disinfected the whole place. I mean, my game room right now, it has always been clean, but right now, I mean, you could do open heart surgery. right here at this spot. Everything is mint. It helped a lot with the bug situation, and I just vacuum everything every day. I disinfect everything, and according to the specialists, it's just a matter of better weather to arrive. Now, what else? In case you don't know, I'm working on a television program here in Portugal called Retro Gamers. Yeah, it's a TV show about retro gaming, and I'm one of the resident commentators. And so far, fortunately, this COVID situation didn't affect my job there. The team was awesome. This didn't jeopardize the project. And yeah, next week I'm going to shoot another episode. So far so good. And yeah, I was worried sick about that. What else is going on? My job at the shop, my antique shop and my parents. Yeah, I mean, it's lockdown now. So what I'm doing is that I'm starting to focus more in other side projects, on my YouTube, of course, and other gaming projects aside from YouTube. I will not reveal a lot of that. It's it's still a work in place. I've been doing a lot of research, also online sales, because I need to make money. And yeah, this is starting to be a very long, rambling video, guys. This was really just to give you guys an update. Me so far, 2021 has been 2020 2.0. Yeah, it's been crazy, but we all knew that. We all knew that this year was not going to be easy or easier than the previous one. This is just a continuation. The global crisis is still here. So again, the only way for us to beat these guys, it's really to work together. So I wish you all the best of luck. Last but not least, I want to thank to each and every one of you. I received dozens, hundreds of messages, on Instagram, Facebook. A lot of friends called me, and your love was very, very well received, and it really helped me a lot. So to all of you that sent me, a positive message, thank you so very much. That really, really meant the world to me. Now, about the future of the channel. I have a lot of good things planning, because, I'm going to be around my place, around home, for a long time, because again the country is in lockdown again. I'm planning a brand new game room tour 2021 edition. I have a brand new pickups video with a lot of good things to share with you guys, and I'm also going to review a lot of hardware, retro hardware. And also taking into account that I've been in quarantine, I've been playing a lot of video games. I just kicked my backlog, both modern and retro games. So yeah, I'm going to keep myself busy and try to bring you guys as much and better content as I possibly can. So stay tuned for that. So once again, guys, thank you so much for your amazing support. The channel is going to turn 4 years very, very soon. I have a special video for that coming up. And we're also very close to the 4K mark, 4,000 subscribers, which is crazy. So you guys are really the best. Now, before I wrap up the video, guys, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to all of the health professionals out there in the world. Every profession is important. Every occupation is important right now to keep things moving. But I mean, these guys are on the front line. They're literally risking their lives every day. I'm talking about nurses, doctors, physicians. I'm talking about people that are on the call centers dealing with the health crisis, people that are dealing with the pandemic every day, directly, and people that are taking care of other patients with other serious health issues, people that every day are choosing who lives and who dies. To all of you, thank you so very much for your amazing and much needed job. Guys, I'm going to end the video right here. Take care of yourselves, okay? I'm just going to leave it like that. Take care of yourselves.